they were going to do long before they did it, and they're doing exactly the same to the top end as they did to the bottom end. We're being dumped because there's trouble.
Something is going to happen on the estate. Something bad's going to happen on the estate. The kids are bored. Yeah. The teenagers are bored. They're bored out of their mind. That's how they're getting into so much trouble.
Every era, like my era, you had bad as well as good teenagers. But this is 1992, and the kids can't take the pressure. And no jobs, no nothing, no hope on the other end. What can you blame them? I'm not condoning what they're doing. But they're really angry, and they've got to take it out on something.
I'm 20 years old. Got a burn, 2.5, Victoria. I've lived in the Ridges all my life since I was about 2. I've been in homes, in and out of trouble and everything. Never got on with my mum. She used to kick us out all the time. I had a flat when I was 15. I'm coming. Went to Rothy's High School and I only went for the first 2 years. That was boring, you didn't learn nothing. I've had slugs and mice and there's like no one down here for us to talk to. If I stay in all day I'm just stuck. Whereas I go up with my mum's, everybody I know lives up there. Can't even let the bairn play out in the gardens and I think she's bored all day, she whinges to go out. I've tried to get moved for years, but they wouldn't move us. They say I'm adequately housed.
Pretty flowers. See the pretty flowers?
Living in Meadowell, I think it's all right, because I have grew up here. But there's lots of people that come in and they can't handle it. Got to move out and that, get loads of trouble.
Next year. Are you going to dance for us, Victoria? Show us how you dance.
I feel safe. I feel safe living here. I wouldn't move anywhere else. Well, for the bairn I would, but not because I want to move. It's not very nice for the kids because they just go up smashing windows and giving people abuse and that, and it's not nice. It doesn't look nice.
They were marvellous, the carnivals, because everybody came out and everybody did their bit. Men used to get dressed up as babies and get pushed around in trams. And then we had a great jazz band, the Melbourne Toffs. And they had their top hats and tails and everything on. Everybody used to decorate streets. We used to borrow the flags off the ships in Smithstocks because Melbourne Place was narrow streets. We used to get thousands of flags off them, decorate the streets. We were hard up, and there was the 10 or 12 altogether in the family, right? My mother worked on the fish quay, gutting and packing, and I used to go round the doors selling fish cakes 7 for 6pence. A lot of people had bugs. I don't know if you know. You had them on your wallpaper.
We had.
You know, you could lie in bed of a night time and you could see the bugs. On the day we were told we were going to get a new house on the Ridges estate, as it was known then, we had to take all our furniture down and to put it into a van over beds, you know, all our furniture, sideboard and desk beds, right? And used to put all the blankets and everything, and used to fumigate them, you know, so you get to sit and wait till they were all done. And my mother welcomed that, you know, going up there, going to the infirmary, getting your furniture fumigated. We were pleased ourselves, all our kids were glad we were moving, we didn't mind it. But some who did come to live on the Meadowell, on the Ridges estate, it was then known, they didn't like it, they thought it was a stigma, you know, like it was scum or something like that.
But mind, when I went into that house and I seen the bathroom and all that, well, I just broke down, I couldn't help it, because it was such a pleasure to know who I had gotten to where we were. Oh yes, it was marvellous. Marvellous. It was a lovely place. Everybody had their gardens done. No fighting, no animosity amongst anybody. Until these last 2 or 3 years. It's only happened in the last 2 or 3 years, that's all.
Well, they tell you it stinks. The scum of the earth come on the Meadowell. And I had a sister-in-law herself who said to me she wouldn't live there rent-free. That's the idea of the Meadowell. And the people that talk about it on the buses, when the bus goes through, oh, that's the Meadowell, that's that terrible estate. It's not a terrible estate. It's wrong that they should fetch it down like that, because they shouldn't forget there's still lovely people living there that have lived there a long time.
The riot was a build-up of numerous things that were happening over the state. It was inevitable because of the harassment, the way the police are doing things. They're not going about it legally, they're doing it by their law, not the land's law. Two young lads who were going out to do some graft on the coast road. They died, mysteriously died. They weren't incapable drivers, either one of them. And like it was just swept under the carpet. Then the riot happened, they couldn't sweep it under the carpet.
The thing that like sickens everybody is like, why did they do it? Why did they burn their own youth club down? Why did they burn their own shops down? Because they were left with so much anger pitted up.
The thing about the youth club, you know, they're saying they burnt their own youth club, the only thing that they had in the estate, which was of any use to them. It had been shut down for 10 months, you know. And you can verify that.
Yeah, I used to work there.
The government spending closed that youth club, man. Why isn't the grass being cut? Just silly little things like that, man.
All it looked like was a big lump of tinder to some people. Excellent stuff for like wanting to set a beacon off, I'm sure.
Great attention seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna be seen for miles, isn't it, you know?
Every now and again, you will see what happened last year. You will see the riots situation happening. But for many people, that has been an experience which they see regularly. Burning houses, empty houses in particular, that happens regularly. The media aren't always there.
I think it must be bad down south as well. I mean, you read about Coventry, it's terrible down there. They're the last riots they've just had.
Manchester was the last one, wasn't
Manchester, Salford.
it? The shootings in Manchester.
But they reckon it's a drug problem down Manchester and that. Up here, it's just complete vandalism, that's all. They wouldn't know what a good joint was. So, I don't know. Like Bob says, I've never lived on any more states. I wouldn't like to go to Manchester. I wouldn't like to leave Shields. I've lived Shields all my life, so why should I have to shift?
That's all about opinions, though, isn't it? Yeah. We are just left amongst it all.
That's it,
You see, I'd love to go take my wife for a fortnight's holiday, because since we've been married, we've never had a decent holiday abroad since we've been married, like, you know.
You can't.
No, I'd love to take my wife away, but as you see, you can't. Because if you leave your house...
They've been out left when they come back.
There'll be absolutely nothing. Even the tiles off the roof will be taken off. You know?
To be quite honest, I'd just like to leave the Meadowell for a while and get away from it. Because I've had enough. I've had 16 years of it in this last house. Then I lived in the South Meadowell before I come here. And that was bad then, but no, it's just out of hand now altogether. I want to be out.
The problems that are created here are not as a result of people being bad people. So things like the shoplifting or the bits of catalogue fraud or the robbing or whatever are not considered normal by society, but here they're a way of surviving each week.
I know there's a handful of kids who aggravate people and try to harass them, but who knows how them kids feel? Who knows what kind of environment these kids come from to make them feel that way, to kick against the world, to be so angry, to be so bitter. Even a lot of them won't go to school. They say it's not worth it. They've got no hope. They're just really frustrated.
Friday night. No money. No beer. Lush.
One toast there. Keep your balance.
Now you have to be 18 to claim benefit. So if you didn't choose a scheme when you're 16, these days schemes are getting more difficult because they're asking for qualifications before you get on the scheme. So like living around here, it's hard to come by money. A lot of the kids are paying for their parents, where their parents cannot bring things into home. The young ones are, like age 14, 15, are going out stealing to have slightly better lifestyles, and they haven't got these qualifications because they never stick in that school. So, you know, where's the wrong in that? I mean, you know what I mean?
For years, we've been saying that the level of benefit is nowhere near adequate enough, and that's been demonstrated to us by anecdotal stuff. People coming in and saying, I don't eat on Sundays, right? If the kids eat Thursday and Friday, then I have half a bowl of soup with them. 1 tin of soup goes 4 ways. Kids don't go to school because they haven't got any shoes to wear, right? They run about in their slippers around the estate. It's all the things that, you know, the sort of hidden stuff that people manage to survive and get by each week still alive, but in a lot of cases it's by the skin of their teeth.
They hire all the young lasses like us were bairns on this estate, so people think that there's loads of them.
It's the same
No, it's not, man, it's just chat, I think, like. Hire them all in the ridges, get rid of them. Do you want to put them in posh areas because people complain?
If I had more money, then I'd be alright. But we can manage. If I've got no money, and Michelle has, she'll buy some money.
Oh, yeah.
Like food. And if Michelle hasn't, she comes here.
Lads seem to need more money than lasses, I think, at Eton How, because we've got the bairns in the houses to look after. But the lads just can't live without money, man. They've got to have money on them for buy their bit tack and drugs and garnout.
9 times out of 10 it'll be a young lad and a young lass living together with a bairn, and she's got a nag because there ain't no food in the cupboards, and he's got to respond, and it could be able to go out and sell his watch, or go out and hire a car through Curry's window, or it could be to just like say, fuck this, I can't go on, I'm going back to my mother's. And they're all ways out, you know.
There is absolutely no point in talking about extra police or new policing methods if at the end of the day the young people who are carrying out many of the crimes cannot get into employment. It will just become a fight between the police and the young people, and that will continue.
No. Stupid, mate. You don't like other dogs, do you? I'm a youth and community worker on the Meadowell, and I have been for the last 4 years. Just learning, not quite fully qualified yet. Intend to go to Durham University soon. And the kind of things we get up to is like play, traditional youth work, also different kind of idea of youth work, which is working with the problems of this estate, recognising stuff on this estate, finding people work, all this stuff.
Who's that?
Conversation, isn't it?
She's just got no fear whatsoever.
No, it obviously hasn't. It doesn't realise it looks like a tin of chum. I definitely feel that there's like in a lot of the kids I work with, the no hope kind of no future thing playing its part, you know, where they know that like uncles, fathers, aunties, mothers, sisters, brothers and stuff having a hard time to get it right and stuff. The chances, the opportunities to make it ain't there. You got to struggle really hard, and the rewards are relatively small. And I think young'uns can see that, and they weigh that up against all the moral kind of rules and stuff, and think, yeah, break it. That's just my fear. I only work with young people from the Meadowell estate, and I'm not speaking for young people all over, I'm just speaking on behalf of the young people in this area. And that's what I see. I see kids who tend to know the score, and who that word streetwise means something, you know. They can survive on these streets, and they can make it work on these streets. And that's the most important thing, you know. More important than rising above the streets and becoming something different, because that's almost too hard to do, eh?
There is youth culture in every single community, but the aspects of a youth culture which develop, which then gives succour and gives support to directing and focusing the energies of that culture in a negative way on their own community, I think are fairly new. I think they are a result of the 1980s, and I think they're not unique to the Meadowells of this world. They're in every city and they're in every town. It's only when that spreads out to centres of commerce, whether it be shops, and whether the experience is ram raiding, or whether it's shoplifting or other more serious burglaries, it's only at that point does the broader society recognise the experiences that maybe people within the estates have been having on a regular basis.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandad. Happy birthday.
To the class.
Hooray, he's made it.
Happy birthday.
Glad you haven't put me in on it.
One for me. Do you want one uncovered? Fork.
Oh, nah.
Do you want fork? Yeah.
There's a small minority of people on this estate bad, and the majority of them.
It doesn't matter how many people are bad and how many people are good. It's just that if the people that are bad are unchecked, it's not going to get anywhere.
Oh, I agree, but that doesn't say because them aren't being unchecked that the rest are all
But the
the
way I
same.
look at it is, if somebody does something on the Meadowell and other people just look by and don't do anything about it, and the people that just look by are as bad as the people that are doing it in the first place.
That's true.
Well,
Then the
that's
police
where I had
look
all the
by,
trouble.
The council look by. So if the police are not going to do anything, what do you expect the ordinary people on the estate to do?
I mean, if somebody goes and throws a stone at your window, you go out and tell them, and the first thing they do is run away and come back with a gang of their mates and start smashing all your windows. You phone the police up and the police say, oh well, they're too young, they're only 10, what can we do about it? And they don't even go and tell them off or chase them, they just get back in the car and drive away. I mean, look at my old house. I moved out of my old house and they turned the gas taps and blew the house up.
Yeah, but the police and the council won't do nothing.
I know, what are you talking about?
But that's
9, 10-year-old kids that are doing it.
Yes,
the
I know,
councils, you know?
and they're being allowed to get away with it.
But it's nothing you
So
can
they
do
think
for them,
it's
the
fun,
kids,
so they
man.
do it all the more. Yes,
I mean, look at that apartment. Well, the space of a year it was destroyed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely destroyed.
And what
the
used to
police
happen
used to
when
go
you
and
go
watch
on
them.
the police?
They just used to, oh well, all right. We'll send somebody out. That used to be. We used to have an answering machine on saying, oh, we'll send somebody out. For the number, well, we'll send somebody out. They never used to work.
I'm going to walk through Tunbridge Park. I don't know who'll be there or what'll be there, but every time I walk through it changes slightly. A little bit more of it goes missing. Like a house or so, or 2 or 3, or a roof. I suppose somebody's going to say they don't deserve anything if this is what they're going to do to the good things that happen. They're talking about the people, the kids, the grown-ups for not telling the kids and stuff. But these aren't the answers, you know. Building parks aren't the answers. And splashing paint everywhere ain't the answers. And this is the proof. Yeah? Can you hear me? You look completely around the park. Every house, just about almost, is unoccupied and the roof's torn off. And straight away, it's just left to ruin. This place can't be looked after. It all went together, you know, because you had swings, you had the party's hut there, and the pictures just fitted in really nice. It looked really good. It looked like somewhere where young people played. It doesn't now, huh? It doesn't now. The pictures are still there, and there's a little bit of dirt on them and stuff, but they're menacing, you know. The same things that meant so much to the park and highlighted it so much now seem to like hang over it and spell out its kind of fate, aye? What a mess, but it's happened.
The classes as rubbish. Police did it one time. I mean, we've got the voluntary police here now. I was trying their hardest to help. But before that, we were called everything. Scum. Oh, have you been to Vietnam? If there was a call, oh, it's the pigs being at it again. Now, does that give people heart to even try? Lumping everybody together when there's such a lot of decent people.
There's a feeling of abandonment that you have developed in many respects, a sort of a ghettoising process where most of the problems are concentrated inside of the estates. Their effects and causes may be outside of those estates, but the problems are concentrated within the estates. And people genuinely do believe that it's been abandoned by government, by local government, by the police and other agencies.
This is to allow residents to ask questions on the agenda. Now, we know people have a lot of personal issues to bring up. That isn't what this is about. This is to look forward. It is not an inquest into the riots or anything like that. The panel here will try to answer as many questions as possible if you allow them to do so. Right, I call the meeting to order. I will, certainly.
Can I say a couple of words? I'm your ward councillor and I represent you, and it's my job to go to the council and complain and fight and hustle to get you the kinds of things that you want.
It's nice to see that on the wall. A new phase. Everybody thinks, oh, great, nice houses, lovely. But what about the problem now? The estate, let me speak, please. I say it every day, like what all these people do. The houses are in disgraceful condition, the ones that are damaged, beyond repair, in my personal estimate. Something should be done on this estate to help the people. No. People are paying expensive rents. People are paying poll tax. If you're working, you're coming home. It's an embarrassment to bring people back to your home. Am I right?
Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Now, if you think there's going to be some magic wand come down from North Tyneside Town Council, might get the odd bin lorry down, but we'll not get a magic... Hold on.
Let's have a bit of order, please.
Let's have some order. If you think you're going to get police in every minute of every hour of every day to deal with every kid that's breaking into a shop, if you're going to think they're going to follow every kid around to catch him doing... You're not. The solution is not with those out there in authority. The riots proved that authority could not contain or control this estate. The solution must come from within, from you yourselves, organising your estate in the way that you want it, and having said what you want, then cooperating with the outside. There's no point saying, please come and help me, Mr. Policeman, Mr. Council Official. It won't happen. It hasn't happened for 40 years. You must organise yourselves.
Excuse me, sir.